Hello there. Now I decided to go on a trip down memory lane and take a look at the history of Legoland Windsor's location, way before the park ever existed and right up to when the park opened. So I hope you enjoy. The location of Legoland Windsor has some interesting history, and there used to be a mansion on the site, namely St Leonard's Mansion, the area of which now forms part of Legoland. St Leonard's Mansion is often confused with St Leonard's Hill, another mansion nearby, and St Leonard's Mansion was purchased in 1932 by the widow of American car maker Horace E. Dodge, namely Anna Dodge. Then Billy Smart, the circus extraordinaire, owned it from 1966. In 1969, the Royal Windsor Safari Park was established after Billy Smart's death by his sons David, Ronald and Billy Smart Jr. The safari park rivalled Longleat and contained drive-through sections for animals including baboons, tigers, lions and cheetahs. A Serengeti zone was later developed containing zebra, giraffe, buffalo and llama. Further sections featured chimpanzees, a butterfly house, parrots and birds of prey, and other areas included a hippo lake, monkey house, elephant and deer enclosures. Part of the park's success were the natural roaming habitats that were created. A particularly popular part of the park was a SeaWorld attraction including penguins, sea lions, a dolphinarium and a killer whale, who in the 70s was called Ramu, but who had to be moved to SeaWorld in San Diego due to his size. Then came Winnie the Whale and Nemo. Winnie was reportedly resident from the late 70s until the park's closure. In fact, Winnie the Whale was the last captive killer whale kept in Britain. Some of these animals were trained to perform, and the park even provided research for fishing net warning systems, which were developed for dolphins. The Dolphin Research Project was another research avenue that raised funds for studying dolphin behaviour and sonar communication. Apparently, even Carol Vorderman worked at the gift shop in the mid-70s, and financier and businessman Robert Hansen had his first job here as an assistant reptile keeper. The safari park did have some rides and attractions in addition to the animals, such as a toboggan run and some other small fairground-type rides. The safari park was acquired by Trident Television in 1977 for £3 million. In one source, it is said that Trident tried to sack some dolphin keepers who set up a union branch regarding some animals being poorly treated, and that this caused the park to come to a standstill for part of 1977 and 78. However, I couldn't verify this anywhere else. At the peak of the safari park's popularity, it is said that 2.5 million people visited each year. In 1988, it was sold to Thames International, who had ideas for an African-themed park including rides, game stalls and new food and beverage units, and as time went on, money issues arose and only got worse. Less people were visiting, and the recession of the early 90s didn't help either, coupled with some of the developments they had been putting in place, such as an Egyptian-themed entrance and market streets. Receivership beckoned in 1992, with £40 million worth of debt being accrued, which led to the park's imminent closure. Now we are almost at the birth of Legoland Windsor, but first we have to briefly mention Legoland Billund in Denmark, which was the first park developed by the Lego Group in 1987. In 1989, they began looking for the perfect location for their second park, and ended up looking at more than 1,000 potential sites. As 1992 rolled around and the sad end of Windsor Safari Park, the opportunity for development opened up and Legoland Group found the perfect place. I did read that new homes were secured for all of the safari park animals, and I really hope that was true for every single creature. From 1992, planning and construction took place, including construction of models, and this culminated in Big Ben being added to the Miniland, whilst other surrounding construction was still taking place. By September 1995, advance bookings opened for entrance tickets. In March 1996, Legoland Windsor opened to the public and was visited by more than 1.4 million people in its first season. One attraction did remain from the safari park, namely the railway, which became the Hill Train. And that's where I'm going to leave it today, and in a future video I will cover how the park has changed over the years since 1996 up to present day. So thank you for watching/listening, and I'll see you next time.